Well, it's the first day of November and I'm on the homestead. I was sorting some things out in the house the other day and I found this. A true rusty cat. So I brought it down. I'm not sure where it's going to go yet. I may just keep it to put onto the summer house when it's built. Hopefully in the next week. Now the problem with this site is it's sort of going up into a bit of a triangle. And the summer house will go here. But I want to try and get it a bit centre. But do I go all the way up to this fence or the outer boundary fence? Or do I account for compost bins? Right, 50 foot. Okay. Where is 25 foot? That means all that will have to be moved. Okay, this is helping me work this out. I want this bed and that bed to be of equal size. Each bed is going to be 14 foot. And I like that. I like the number 4. 1, 2, 3 foot. And I've got 3'5". Is it worth crying over 5 inches? It's facing too much that way. I'd rather it face too much that way. Not like that, like this. Right, let's put it there. Step back. Have a look. The time, 5:15. Right, so we've just turned up at the homestead and I can't remember what I left behind, to be honest. So it'll be much of a surprise to me as it will be for you. And also, I didn't tell him what things to bring. So it looks like we've got a few trees there. So maybe these are the apple trees. And we've got some dead chairs. Ah, we've got some of the Queen Elizabeth roses. I was just saying, it looks like there's a path with with a, what you call these, tiles.
Not that tall.
So maybe that's why I've been slipping all over the place.
Quite well dug in, so there's no way I'm digging them out. So I'm going to take out a trench here.
Right.
Dig there, dig back.
Right.
We might even do it today or tomorrow. But the first thing I'm going to do is to put the soil there. Okay?
Right, yeah. This will be the the flower bed that will have a benching at the side of the summer house. Now, I'm not going to sort it out today. It can sit there for 24 hours. I'll come back tomorrow and sort it out. There's the rest on this side. That's some of my very old fence from the rusty allotment from 17, 18 years ago. And then all that is for the foundations for the shed. But he wanted to test out his spade, so he's just dug down here. And he thinks the soil is wonderful. In fact, he wishes he could have the plot himself. Have a quick cup of tea now when he stops. He loves digging, does this lad. So while he gets on with that bit there, I'm going to put the base down. Look at that, see? Beautiful. So now, the next bit. So there we go, plastic's down. But this is the base of the summer house. And now we just pop the stones in. Now they say, if you haven't got many stones, just do the outside and don't bother with the centre. So we put the gravel in, put the board back down, and to see if it's level and the bubble is in the middle. Perfect. Now unfortunately we got so into the task at hand I forgot to pick up the camera, so this is where we are so far. Go into the shed for a cup of tea, then look out through the square window onto the flower bed. And as for the rest of the garden, it's been trimmed and that little bed's turned over, and you can see here, just walk down where the path will be. This is where the path will be located, and if I just turn around, that is what it looks like from the top end. Now it says it can be built with 2 people, but we're having to improvise. That's the first section of the roof is in. So here we are. We're getting an idea of how they put the pyramids together. So this is what it looks like. The glass needs to go in, but that is on another day. And also these are all the little finicky bits to go around, like the outside and there, which I will do on another day. I'm not going to open the doors to go in because they're fixed for the time being. We just need them to dry out slightly. Every day is school day. Well, today's lesson has been, if I get to the homestead from 12:30 onwards, the sun has already gone behind the mountain. It is a beautiful day in the valley today if you can be in the sunshine, but unfortunately I'm not. I also bought some plants in the autumn sale. You plant them now and you smell them next spring. Can you guess what they are? They are wallflowers called Fire King. Beautiful looking plug plants they are, even if they do have a few weeds contained within them. So now I have this patch here to the right of the summer house. This is going to be the new flower bed. And where the flower bed is now at the top of the garden, that will be the pond. So there they are, and up here I've tried to make a bit of an archway. There is one there, it's very small. It's just like a half semicircle of wallflowers. And it's supposed to be green, but it looks more like, I don't know, like an ice cream blue. Right, before I get on my knees and do the bit at the bottom, I'm going to go and have a cup of tea. It is getting extremely cold now. An instinct tells me that I need to stop. Right, well, I think the first thing to do is to have a brew. I've just been busy painting the summer house and enjoying this beautiful weather. I've just realised I should really be making space for when the greenhouse turns up. Apparently it will be here at 1 o'clock, which is in an hour. Right, so I'm going to move this because this is where the greenhouse is going. Am I going to put it up today? I don't know. Let's have a look at how the energy is. But nothing starts without a good cup of tea. The temperature is 6 degrees and the sun seems rather fierce in its lowness today. Apparently there's a snowstorm coming next week and bad weather, so I need to sort the roof out. The problem is I haven't got an A-frame ladder, and I don't know if it's wise to put a house ladder against it. But whatever I do, I need to move these. "10 minutes and I think that sun will be gone." I would love to get on and do the greenhouse, but better finish one job first. Oh, just had a cup of tea and a bit of a sleep. Right, let's get back to it. Whoa, all over this land. Oh. Here we go, lads. There we go. Oh. But to be honest, I'm exhausted. I can't carry on. Oh, yeah. There's ice in the teapot. Look at that. I've decided in the spring I'm going to take the roof off, and I'm going to slightly change the design of it to fit my needs. I'm going to go for the corrugated bitumen, I think it's called, green roof. Not a green roof as in flowers, although I suppose I could do that, but I'm not going to. I mean a green roof as in colour. And I'm going to get somebody else in to do it after the winter months. I've arranged for somebody to come in and sort it out for me. So let us put, so one goes in there, and one goes down the side, and another one goes down that side, and then the bigger piece goes up on top. So let's try a second one. Oh, it'd be nice to get in here and get a bit of warmth going. Now it's far too cold. The pot is frozen, so it's far too cold to plant the tree. But I'm thinking here, because this is going to be a swimming, not a swimming pool. It's going to be a wildlife area with a pond and a pool. So the tree, I'm thinking, can go there and give it a lot of space. But the ground is frozen, so it's not the best time to do it. But there, I think it's quite nice. I've just seen a robin sat on the trellis, so that is a good enough sign for me that this is a good spot. Then they can come here, sit there, watch the pond, and then fly back up to the conifers. Oh, it is a cold day. Look at this. I've only just noticed I've been so busy. The frost and the snow is still on the ground. Hello, welcome back. As you can see, I'm in the shed, but outside there's a bit of a storm brewing. A cup of tea always makes everything better. Look at that. Here we are, this is what it looks like inside. And now, there's absolutely no rush to get it finished. I've just had my Waitrose delivery, and the driver said that the village is flooded. He said he just managed to get through, but he doesn't know if he's going to get out. So I thought I'd come down because my phone's been going off all morning about flooding. We've also had an email to say do not drink the water unless it's boiled, and I've just turned up and I think we're an hour away from possibly being washed away. I have never seen it this close to the homestead before. It is less than 6 foot away. Look at the torrent. I can understand how the village is flooded. Look at the bank here. It's washed some of the bank away. Terrible scenes. Right, well, there's nothing I can do down here. If it comes in and takes the shed, it takes the shed. Nothing I can do. But let's go down to the village and see if there's anything down there that we can give a helping hand to. Well, what a week it's been. The last time I came down here, the river was very high, and I haven't been back since. So even though it's 4:30 and it's getting quite dark, I thought I'd have a little stroll around the homestead just to check that everything is okay. Summer house looks fine. All the plastic is still there, yes. So inside, I'm not going to go inside this evening, but I would imagine it is cozy warm in there. Wallflowers, they do look a bit scraggly at this time of year, but once we get a tiny bit of warmth next year, they'll soon burst back into life. There are lots of birds down here, lots of robins. So this is how the homestead's looking. All this stuff which came down from London in the van, that needs to get sorted. And to be honest, nothing will probably happen now until after Christmas, and I'll explain the reason why in a moment. See, the Christmas tree is fallen over. It is still a frosty day, and I will decorate this tree in about a week's time, and hopefully the weather will be good enough for me to pop it into the ground. This side, the pond, the plan is to tackle this in January. I want to try and get the pond in place for Easter, because that's the time when all the frogs and everything start to get a bit active. So if we can get it ready for a new year ahead. Towards the back there will be shrubs towards the back, and with my recent trip to Aberdare Park, I've had a bit of inspiration on how to do this, and I'm going to try. I don't know how it's going to happen, but that bench up there is going to move down at the side of the summer house. So in that corner, I'm going to attempt to make a waterfall. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm going to try and create a mini Aberdare Park. Again, the greenhouse. Nothing will happen this side of Christmas now. See, we've had a frost today. The leeks will be coming into harvest very soon, and as long as it hasn't been too damp, there should still be potatoes for harvesting. But the leeks are looking very nice in the gloaming at the moment. Right, let us have a look at the river. Can you remember what it looked like the last time I came here? Look how close that is to my boundary line. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look back at the video that I filmed, and that tree right in front of you there, that one there, I'm going to put a ribbon around the tree or something just to indicate how high the river got. But looking at it now, I think it looked a bit more terrifying than what it actually was. I think we were about 3 foot away, but I've just noticed now, I can't remember if this was here before the storm, so I will have to look at my pictures. But there are lots of bricks down there, so I will have to investigate whether the small retaining wall that was here, whether that has collapsed. This is what is so good about doing filming. If I'm a bit unsure, I can go back and have a look, because those stones might have been there. It's just you don't notice them at the time. You only notice them after something's happened. But we survived. And as the neighbours told me, this place, as far as they are aware, has never been flooded. Because if this had got flooded, that means the entire top end of the village would have gone. And we're coming to the end of November. Last day of November, in fact. And as I've said before, December is the only month, and I don't know why, it's the only month that I hardly spend any time on the land, on an allotment that I've had in the past. Maybe it's because it's usually dark by about 3:30, so unless you get down to like, I would still go to the allotment site at about 10:30. I used to meet up with Jeff and Gary to have a cup of tea in their sheds and things. Pat and Ned, the old boys. So we used to meet up. But by the time you used to get yourself geared up to do something, the temperature would have gone. Whereas in November, it's dark at 5:15 at the start of the month, and round about towards the end it's 4:15. The temperature starts dropping at 2. So when you get into December, you only have about an hour or two in the morning of good weather. And even on a sunny day in the winter, by 12 o'clock, the temperature, because I've noticed the temperature starts to drop about 2 hours before the light goes. So that's one of the reasons why I won't be down here a lot in December. And to be honest, I've spent a lot of time down here in November. As you know, at the end of every month I put a video together of what I've done on the homestead. And I do that because it's a good way for me to go back and have a look at the progress on those days when you think to yourself, oh, have I taken on too much? You can go back and see how much you actually have done. So the one I did in July, I think, was about 20 minutes. The one I did in August was about half an hour. I'm just guessing now. October, I think, was an hour. Well, November, because I've already started to put that video together, it comes out at 6.5 hours. That's how much time I've spent down here. Now, obviously, when the video goes live on December the 1st, it's not going to be a 6-hour Ben-Hur extravagance. I've managed to shave it down to about 25 minutes. So to be honest, I will be looking for a break from the place anyway, so December is the perfect time. I was stood here the other day and I thought something's changed. I just couldn't put my finger on what's changed. And it's because the Ricos Mountain is open again. and I can see the cars going over, and sometimes I can hear the motorbikes going up. So even though it's about a mile or two, yeah, it's about a mile and a half away, you can still hear the cars on the echoes. But it's still nice to be down here, even at this time of night, and to just listen to the birds. So the greenhouse is in the summer house, so that will stay dry. I haven't bothered to put the glass in there. The robin. But I'll come down here on Christmas Day. Plus I'll be down here on Boxing Day because there's something special I want to do. Anyway, I'm going to go now because I need a cup of tea. So I will catch up with you next time. So from me until then, bye for now.